Living. We're so happy to have everyone here with us this morning and online, and we're going to start with a song. Think of every shadow as a chance to start again. Think of every heartache as a chance to make amends. Gather all the miracles you find along the way. Put them in your pocket, 'cause one day you'll know when the thunder rolls, you won't have to hide. Lightning rarely strikes you twice, it falls on either side. When you're on the edge of knowing who you're gonna be, just reach into your pocket and you'll see. Find the silver lining in the eye of a hurricane. If you can say you feel like flying when it looks like rain, follow every winding path until you see the light. Follow every dream to turn the wrong back into right. No more walking sightless when you hold the hand of God. When your heart is open, then you are the miracle. The miracle. The miracle. This is Greg Newland. We are partners in love and life and all things, and we're so privileged to share our music with you here at the Center for Spiritual Living. And I am a creative adventurer, a singer-songwriter. I'm an artist. I work in fiber and paper. I do workshops. I do inspirational speaking, and all of that comes together in pulling people together and connecting. And we're doing that. We're going to be meeting after the service today for a workshop called Why Not, right? I just want to tell you a little bit about what that is all about. So this is a fiber art piece that I did a few years ago, and the colors are a bit muted, but I like it. And this is just fabric that's been actually dyed with plants and rust, believe it or not. A lot of this used to be white before it was dyed. And down here you'll see these strands that are knotted. Well, this is the idea that we're going to be working on, is knotting fabric and knotting our intentions into that fabric. And so the result will be a colorful piece for the center. So here's some of the material that we're using, quite colorful. And what we do is we rip away, I'm going to use a small one here, we rip away kind of what doesn't serve us anymore in our lives. And I didn't get this started, so it's not going to, there it goes. Okay, so whatever I'm deciding isn't serving me in my life anymore, I'm ripping through that. And then we're thinking about intentions, coming from where we want to be in life, rather than running towards it, right? We want to come as if, because we believe that we are co-creating our lives in spirit. So we are knotting those intentions into the fabric. And the result is all of this wonderful knotted fabric that I will be using to create this colorful fiber art piece for the center. So I know a lot of you are planning to attend the workshop. I'm hoping that all of you will. I think we'll probably start right after service, since we probably won't be having a fellowship time. But Ruth is going to tell you a little bit more about that and why we're not up there with microphones today.
Thank you, Bev. That's so exciting.
Beautiful.
Yes, in case you're wondering, we're unplugged today, and we're a little more intimate because we have our very first renters in the front of our building. We're so blessed. They're doing some energy work, and so that's why we're trying to be quiet for them. It's not normal that we're going to have renters out here on a Sunday morning, but this was a special case. There's somebody coming from out of state to come and teach this class, and they are so excited to be able to use our space, and I'm excited to have that beautiful energy in our space. So we're unplugged today, and we're doing things a little different, but it's just kind of fun to be different anyway, isn't it? It's kind of fun to do things different. We're going to have our social time a little bit out there, and our workshop in here too afterwards. Okay. The other thing I want to tell you is next Sunday, this is an important Sunday, next Sunday, we're going to be having our annual meeting. And our annual meeting is where the Board of Trustees, and by the way, I'm the president of the Board of Trustees. My name is Ruth Hall. I will be stepping down as president at this annual meeting. But we're going to come together. We're going to talk about all the things that happened in 2024 and how blessed we have been from this building and from all of the growth that we've had. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to vote on the new Board of Trustees for the rest of 2025. So all kinds of things going on. We also are going to have a potluck. So if you like food, like me, bring a dish to share, and we're going to have a fun time, and it will be wonderful. We also have this wonderful blessing of a generous donor who has challenged us with a 2-for-1 challenge. So for every $2 we raise, this donor is going to give us $1 up to $1,000. So we have a potential of raising $3,000 for our building fund to finish all of this work that we're doing, getting us to that annual meeting. And I'm happy to report that we're getting really super close. We're only within a little bit. Mm-hmm. So the deadline for donating to the building fund is that next Sunday on the 2nd. And with your graciousness and help, we will get to that challenge. I have no doubt we'll get there. So that's very exciting. Then but we have a lot of stuff going on. Then on March 7th, which is a Friday, we have our very first concert. And Jessie Powers is going to be here. She's coming from Ohio to come and be with us. Absolutely wonderful musician. We're excited to see her. And I have tickets available. So if you want to purchase a ticket, you can come and see me afterwards. If something happens you can't do it today, just get online and send us an email. We can hold tickets for you at the door. It's going to be a great time. So looking forward to that. All of this you'll kind of hear a little bit after the service is over when we go through our announcements. But remember, everything that you hear about upcoming events is on our website too, so visit that.
Well, thank you, Vanda. That was wonderful. Oh, that's me now.
Now I'd like to welcome our minister up here.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. And so I'm over here, yes. I know what to do. I am Reverend Sharon Dunn-Alberg, your senior minister, your spiritual director. Who knows what she's doing? And I want to welcome you this morning. Pretty excited that I do want to say thank you to someone very special who is the bouncer outside, the very loud voice. Getting ready for our guests. I'm calling them our guests in our social hall. He has finished the doors and got us all locked in and soundproofed a little bit so that we don't hear them, they don't hear us much. And I'm just he's worked so hard. I just want to thank him. I know we do that a lot, but gratitude is the root of abundance. So we can all say thank you to him in our own.
Does he have a name?
Larry.
Oh.
Larry, my husband. Don't you know? Thank you so much. And so, why don't we say good morning to each other? How we do that is we use a namaste greeting, and we in prayer hand position, so we're not hugging or doing any of that during the winter times. We're going to say good morning to 3 people, and we use the namaste greeting, which is the spirit in me sees the spirit in you. Or what we say, the divine light in me honors the divine light in you. And if you can't remember any of that, namaste. So 3 people.
Namaste. Good to see you. Namaste.
Divine light on me.
She brought me Alice.
Now, I already shared a demonstration when I said Larry has accomplished all this for this weekend. Demonstration in our lingo is answered prayer, maybe something you've set an intention for that has happened. Anyone want to share a demonstration? That always encourages us.
I'm a new practitioner here, and I had retired.
Sorry?
I had retired, I thought. But Reverend Patricia remembered me, and when I came here the first time, she asked me, and I said, oh no, I've retired. So actually I was reinstated.
Yes.
Yeah. And so this last week especially, I have been involved in the prayer line. And it's so amazing what a vibrant, abundant community it is. People are comfortable asking for prayer, and us being able to come together as a group. It's something I haven't experienced before in my history of being in this teaching. Mm-hmm. So I am grateful that that came into my life, and good for me.
That's a good example of when God calls, don't let it go to voicemail. Any other demonstrations? Beth has one.
So when I spoke to you all a few weeks ago, and I talked about my white rock, having said prolific, and how my intent for this year was to spend more time on my art and all the things that I wanted to achieve in my life. And in the back of my mind, I kept thinking to myself, it's time. If I only had more time to do that. And then I would stop myself and say, don't say that, because if you say that, you're going to get laid off from your job. And I thought, maybe that would be good. So I'm 3 weeks into a new chapter of my life where I wanted to choose to step away from corporate marketing, and the choice was made for me, and I couldn't be happier.
I saw some hands up somewhere. Demonstrations, Jim?
I don't know, it seems like about a month ago I had food poisoning. And then it just got complicated by something and it just didn't get better. And so the prayer team got after it. And I can't tell you the exact day, but it was like, I'm bad, and I'm trying to figure out what to do, and I'm, as they say, treat me to your feet. Well, the prayer team did their thing, and one day it was gone. Well, I don't know why.
You've been praying for my grandniece, Megan, with her twins' pregnancy that's been sort of tenuous, and she's now in the hospital. She's 4 centimeters dilated, a month early as well. So very hopeful, very hopeful.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
I would say that the prayer team kept those babies in utero, no problem. So any, and the practitioner will let you know how to make a prayer request when she gets up here. And let's just, before she gets up here, do our vision, mission, and purpose so that those here for the first time might know what we're about. So together, our vision, we are a welcoming sanctuary community where all are accepted, valued, and supported in the global family. Our mission, we inspire personal and global transformation through the teachings of science and mind. And our purpose, in joy and love, we connect in service to all life. And now I have the honor to bring up a loving heart, a generous practitioner of truth. Someone who, as we say as practitioners, we're always practitioners, even though some of us may go on to ministerial school. This practitioner has done so, so she is also a minister. And what we say is that we are loyal, active, and supporting in our vows. And this practitioner is the example, Reverend Debbie Hutton.
Thank you. What am I supposed to say after that? I know I can't say it with a microphone, so I guess I'll just step away. I am so glad everyone is here, and I want to remind everyone, starting with me, that God is in the room and probably trying to reach you, but not through your cell phone. So please, if you have the cell phone volume on, to turn that off or down. Thank you. And join with me in this time of deepening for this service. Of course, there's deepening already through the music, so I already feel it. This time of deepening, as we go into that place of quiet that is always within and around, whether you shut your eyes or let them go unfocused, whatever feels perfect for you. And in this knowing, we know that there is one mind. There is one infinite life, one infinite divine intelligence, and it is all that is. It is the pure movement of being. It is the peace and wholeness of the entire universe, of all that is, of all creation, of all that I am, of all that each and every person in this room is, each and every person who is watching online. There is only this one life, this one intelligence, and it is moving in, through, and as all of us. Moving in, through, and as this service today, as each and every piece comes together, including for our guests in the other room. That there is this movement of good in the music, in the talk, in the energy, in the board of directors, in all of the volunteers, in everyone who comes, that there is this good that is unfolding grace, And today, each and every one of us is open in mind and heart and being to that which is ours to know, to learn, and to bring into our lives. And absolute good is happening today. This is all, and so it is.
And so it is.
And now for our readings. From Ernest Holmes, love overcomes both hate and fear. However, love does not overcome hate and fear through controversy, argument, or force, but by a subtle power of transformation, transmutation, and sublimation. It is invisible in its essence, but apparent through its act. As light overcomes the darkness, as the presence of heat causes the coolness of a room to change until it is warm and comfortable, so the radiant action of love and peace dissipates fear, hate, and confusion. Also from Ernest Holmes, love overlooks the little differences that we have and finds a point of reconciliation with others. Love creates tolerance and human understanding, without which we become really divided against ourselves, and without which we almost unconsciously become filled with criticism, condemnation, and false judgment. No one can be happy or enjoy the greatest fulfillment in life until he or she or they have come to see that most people try to do the best they can. And when we are able to reach out beyond the indifference and the coldness of life, reach through all intolerance and unkindness, only then do we make that divine center which is forever established within every person. And from Thich Nhat Hanh, after his enlightenment, Buddha was still a human being with all the suffering and afflictions that having a human body entails. He experienced feelings and emotions, pain, cold, hunger, and fatigue, just like all of us. From his teachings, we know he suffered. But the key point is he knew how to suffer. His awakening came from suffering. He knew how to make good use of his afflictions in order to experience awakening. And now for more music by Bev and Greg, All Is Well.
Living in the heart of God.
do a concert?
We'll find
Do you feel put on the spot? I just felt it was so intimate, wasn't it? Now, can everyone hear me? I don't need, good. Does anyone want to hear me is the question.
Yes, everyone does.
So we are working with the annual theme for 2025 of Rising Higher, Growing Deeper for 2025. Considering everything going on, we have an annual theme of Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. I love that. Because I need a plan right now. I don't know if you need a plan right now, but I need a plan. And we're going to actually talk about a plan, which is called prudence. Very much like the Beatles song. And February, which is this is our last week in February, so we're working with radical interconnection. Again, radical interconnection at such a time as this. You're in this room for a reason. One of the most endearing spiritual principles, and what are principles? What is true for all? Joy, light, love, abundance, wisdom, intelligence. Belonging is a principle. Belonging is a principle. It's something we all need and want. Again, at such a time as this, when we are being imploded with the idea of the divide, we cannot believe that. We cannot entertain such a thing. We understand that our teaching is trifold: religion, philosophy, and science. Our religion is love. Our philosophy goes all the way back to the ancient Greeks, and our science is quantum physics. Our thoughts are things and they're creative. So we must be mindful and live a life of mindfulness. We're going to talk about that. And so today's topic is letting go, a new way of being together. The principles I'm going to work with is belonging, and how I'm going to get into that are 3 things: awake, alive, and aware. We need a t-shirt. We need to come here on Sunday to get some technology, to soldier up in the week ahead. We are light workers. We are love workers. You just read 3 quotes with Reverend Debbie that said, love is the way. So we cannot entertain hate. And so the idea of awake is that the seeds of awakening and love are in all of us. We're born that way, as Gaga says. We're born that way. And we get distracted. As Buddha said, there is suffering. But there is a cessation of suffering. But it doesn't get handed to you. It is our work in the world. And mindfulness and enlightenment is not a destined journey. There's no destination here. When you get to the destination, you take your last breath, you leave your body behind, and you go forward into your greatest yet to be. This is our reason, our why, our purpose. Don't worry if you don't know what your purpose is. You do know what your purpose is. Your purpose is to keep your mind's eye on love. I wrote something, Dr. David Bruner, one of my mentors, he asks a question on Facebook every week. And this week he said, what would you like to never do again? And I said, put my faith in human beings. Because human beings are to love. Spirit, God, whatever you call that thing, your higher power, the great mind, the infinite source, the one heart, whatever you call Baba, whatever you call your creator, that's who we have faith in. That is the infinite that gives each of us a soul that is infinite and goes on after this finite life. That's what we put our faith in. But people are to love. That's our thing. And sometimes they are not easy to love. I don't know about you, but I get up in my feels when I deal with people. Because some of you think, oh God, there's just too much peopling. I have to rest. The only way to disappointment is expectation. So why would we expect people to act a certain way? Everyone has their own evolution of spirit, their own soul, their own spirit. Some people can't wait to be generous, loving, considerate, compassionate, caring. And some people don't even know what those words are. They haven't come here to be the example of those words. They may have come here to be the example that creates more opportunity for us to remember those words. So our work is cut out. Mindfulness teaches the importance of staying in the present moment. I don't know about you, but do you ever get distracted by what people do? Am I the only one? Or what people say, you know? You didn't just say that. I've been saying this for months. You didn't. Because I have to be very mindful to keep my mind mindful. I mean, I can be really on purpose, loving, and I can hear one thing that threatens my belief system. See, that's the thing. When people get threatened, they are threatened regarding their core belief system. Because if you threaten someone's core belief system, you leave them naked. They got nothing. They have no anchor. There's no rudder. There's no foundation. They stand in complete faith. And who does that? You know. And so when we challenge each other in our core belief systems, all kinds of things happen. You can see that right now everywhere. The whole world is paying attention to what's going on behaviorally. When I was younger, I didn't even, none of this really, I was just like an old hippie piece, everything's good. I mean, I think the worst thing we did was challenge the older generation on their core beliefs. And boy, did they get up in it at us, right?
Yes.
But now it seems like all the core beliefs have been just kind of, we're not going to have any core beliefs. We're just going to start over. Does anyone feel that way? Or yeah, good. So we have technology. We have something we can do here. I love the laugh. So to truly participate in the transformation of the world, we must come from love. We must come from love. Now, I didn't say we had to come from like. We don't have to like anything. But we must always come from love. Because what's wonderful about not paying attention to the behavior is you can go straight to love. If you can move that behavior aside, you can stay focused on love. Yet sometimes our need to be right and to see others as wrong can prevent us from leading from love. I don't do that, but maybe some of you might. At this point, right? At this point, we will be enlightened and never experience human conditions again. Well, that isn't possible. Reverend Debbie read, Buddha still pooped. So we can be enlightened. You understand that? You know, we don't need to worry about arrogance or pride when we say, I am an enlightened being. When I behave accordingly. When I come from love. And this doesn't mean that we're going to first have our reaction to things. We're always going to have that. That's built in, remember? Are we safe? Are we not safe? That's our ego. That's the ego's job. That's all good. But it's how long do you live there? How long do you stay in that disdain, condemnation? And we must accept that being fully divine, which we are, we have that soul, that imprint of the Creator, that our whole life, if we choose, is to live from that soul, is to have this soulful life, and is to increase that soul capacity. That's what quantum physics is about. How much of the infinite mind can we download? How much love can we experience? And remember, all principle, as we said, has to be experienced or it's nothing. It means nothing. It has no energy. So you can't say, oh yeah, peace, love, and then I was going to flip, but that's not. Gestures, my God, really? So anyway, prudence is my word. And I got so excited about it because it's something we can do. We come here every week. What can we do? What can we do to contribute to the way we want the world to be? To take care of one another, to love one another, to, get rid of this divide. This divide is an illusion. It is not true. And if we buy into it, if we speak into it, if we act into it, it is true. If we want to experience the divide, then it divides. That's physics. And so I got this word prudence, and I love this for this week. Like, what can Sharon do this week? Because does it seem like things are escalating a bit? I kind of feel like there's an energy where I almost don't want to look. I almost don't want to know. I mean, I'm kind of peeking in to see if we're still here. But it just seems like I know that my work in the world is not to be inundated with what's not working in the world. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so this idea of prudence is the quality of being careful and sensible in your actions and decisions. Prudence is an action word. I didn't really know. I'm a student. I'm going to find anything and everything I can to steer me in the right direction because I'm easily distracted. By what? Well, fear. Fear. And that is not a good place to be because it's causal. Meaning it causes. Fear makes more fear. So why would I want to be more fearful? I just spiral down. I circle the drain. It's like a snowball getting bigger and bigger down the road. I've got to go, oh, what am I feeling? I'm afraid. What can I do? And then I need a toolbox. And that's what I'm here for every Sunday. And I have prudence. Prudence is the perfection of reason, or the perfection of the natural capacity of the soul to see reality as it is. And you know reality with the capital R is the reality we speak about in this room. There are 400 centers all over the world that are speaking about the big reality, that love is all there is. That love is the answer. That love trumps hate. Prudence is always associated with moral value, moral virtue. You're always on the right track. To be prudent is to be careful but not timid. We're not asking us, right? We're not asking us to fold the ostriches with our head in the sand. Rather, we're looking towards the powerful Buddha teaching of right speech, right action. What is good for all? Prudence is the habit of making wise decisions and acting with care. To practice prudence, you can do a lot of things. Seek counsel. Judge soundly. Weigh all evidence and consider the consequences of your actions. Fact check things. I don't know, we're being bombarded with information. I don't have time to fact check anything. So what am I taking in and believing if I'm not fact checking? I'd be better off not looking at it and concentrating on what I know is true than to get in there and start passing on something that was said that isn't even true. I mean, right now, when you go on, social media, there'll be a picture, because there's always going to be a picture, or people won't pay attention, and then something that they want to tell you, and the picture is fake. And you're like, I'm starting to fact check the picture before why don't I read something out of the textbook of Science of Mind instead? And neutralize what I'm hearing and reading. We can act decisively, be reflective, resolve conflicts. Resolve conflicts. Let me see, Ruth. Ruth said I have to learn how to do this. So I found, because we're working with Thich Nhat Hanh, I'm sad that February's over. Because it's been that our book of the month, Thich Nhat Hanh, you're going to want that. If you need to read something, if you hear something that's upsetting and you need to just a quick, reset, you just open his book. He talks about interbeing. All of us, one. I mean, it's so great. And he has this thing called 5 mindfulness trainings. These slides are online. We keep them archived, right? But this idea of, when I looked at these trainings, I guess I kind of tested myself, like, how are you on the scale of, yeah, you're doing it or you're not doing it? No, I'm not doing it. But it's something to rise up to. So reverence for life. This is being aware of the suffering of others, the destruction of life. This is committed to cultivating the insight of interbeing and compassion, learning ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. It's just being kind, being non-destructive. I'm good on that. And I was thinking about, gosh, he gets really into it. I'm assuming that if you were, right on the mark on this, you'd be vegan. You'd be, living in a teepee in the forest, not using, the grid in any way. Okay, so I'm not there. Although we do live on a boat, but I love to fish. However, we eat what we catch, and the fish heads we use for crabbing. The point being, just look at these ideas. Like, how am I? Am I over here? Could I do more over here? I think I'm I really truly believe that I want to be like this. And I work to be like this. His idea of true happiness. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression. Do I steal? I am committed to practicing generosity in my thinking, speaking, and acting. These are guidelines. Do you love it, though? Do you feel like sometimes I just kind of need direction? Okay, all the time. I just need direction. True love, this is where we're aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct. I am committed to cultivating responsibility and learning ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. Now, in each of these as we go through, and I'm almost finished, is to look at modernizing this. This was Buddha, okay? This was Buddha. But right now, for me, it is to educate myself on all the diversity and to open my heart and my mind to different. Because I think most of the things we're afraid of is different. Because why? It challenges our core beliefs. I'm safe over here. And this is what I believe is good and right and true. But then someone over here is like, wow, look at your life. I want to be open, intrigued, quiet, listen. Tell me about your life. Show me. Teach me. Because understanding is the bridge to compassion. And as soon as I understand something, I'm like, well, darn. I'm safe with you. You are safe with me. And I think each of these, have a call for us to modernize. What does it mean today? What does it mean today? Loving speech and deep listening, aware of the sufferings caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others. I'm committed to cultivating loving speech and compassionate listening. Isn't that beautiful? And I didn't start out that way. I started out with my mind set. This is what my parents taught me. This is what I learned in Catholic school. And this is the way it is. And I haven't always liked people telling me different. I have not enjoyed one bit to learn about my privilege. But boy, do I have it. And the more I learn, the more oh, okay. And so we're in a world right now challenging all of those ideas. It's almost like the playbook of Thich Nhat Hanh's ways of being is being challenged. Isn't it? Mm-hmm. Isn't that something? And last but not least, nourishment and healing is aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption. I'm committed to cultivating good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my society, by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will only drink fine wine. Let us pray. So we know there's one power, one presence. We know there's one, the Creator, creating creation. We know that the body of God is all creation. That all sentient beings, the animals, the rocks, the trees, the oceans, And this Creator is not oppressive. It does not, once it creates, manage or control its creation. I am that creation. I am that is. I have been created with free will to use the power, the intelligence, the wisdom, the kindness, the love, the power of the one to co-create my life. My choice. And so I commit my life to being, as Ernest Holmes said in the reading earlier, the best that I can be. Compassionate to my brothers and sisters. And the Centers for Spiritual Living is now a place for belonging, where everyone is welcome, where diversity and equity and inclusion is the way of being, where the power of love is our direction, our plan. It is our plan of offense. It is how we move forward in the world. And that power weighs. That power weighs. It has weight. And it outweighs absolutely everything unlike it. And so we must, I commit to, I promise to keep my mind stayed on spirit. To tune out and tune in to what can neutralize anything and everything unlike it. I walk this world, this earth, with promise, with profound purpose to love, to outweigh everything unlike that. And I am so grateful that this prayer is answered. So grateful to know the power of mind. I release my word into the law that always says absolutely, if it's good for all, if it's done in love, if it's done with such a conviction, it's already done. And so together we say amen. And so it is. Yes. That's what I say. Shalom. Ashe. Oh, sorry, dear. What am I pointing?
It's the bottom one.
Pointing down. I know. Ruth taught me.
It's the bottom one.
Down there. Keep going.
There you go.
Oh, I better take that because I leave it places.
I don't usually spend a lot of time talking about how our songs were written. I'm going to do that this time. Years ago, I was kind of just exploring the ideas of quantum physics. I had seen the movie I Am. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. I'm going to talk instead of try to noodle while I talk because I used to do it all the time, and I haven't done it in a long time. We had seen the movie. We had taken a class at the Presbyterian Church in Sunnyvale on the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis. And we had just been introduced to kind of New Thought through our friends Jen Garrett and Jamie Martin. And all of that came together in this song that is about being who we are right now and showing up for what we are doing, concentrating, no multitasking, showing up and being where we are right now before we move on. So I shouldn't try to multitask and play and talk at the same time. That's my lesson. We're always looking down the road change the world instead. We question the grand design, join the search for any meaning we can find. Trouble is that we're all looking for a sign. But now is what we are. Just know the world is spinning safely at your feet. Show up and find me right here till you leave. No moment past your future could ever be so sweet. 'Cause now is what we are. Now is what we are. Just know the world is spinning safely at your feet. Show up and find me right here until you leave. No moment past your future could ever be so sweet. Instead of opening every door to find relief, just take the gifts that have been left here at your feet and look with love on every stranger that you meet. 'Cause now is what we are. 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 Now is what we are.
Thank you so much, Reverend Greg, and also Reverend Sharon for that wonderful talk. We are offering you an opportunity to give. How weird is that, right? We're offering you an opportunity to give. That sounds a little self-serving. But giving is part of the energy exchange that we have with the universe. We give money, we get heat and power from SMUD or PG&E. We give money to this center or to other things and to other things, I won't say or, and to other things that are important to us because they are part of our energy exchange. And so it's like breathing, right? We can only receive as we give. And so giving financially is a sacred service. It is a sacred service that empowers us to remember that we are abundant and who and what we are, that we're part of this community, this growth, this thing that we want to have expand and grow. So it is an opportunity. And you can give through, could you go back one, please? See that cool QR code with the P in the middle that represents PayPal? That is one of our ways of giving, where you can just scan that with your phone camera and give through PayPal. We also, of course, have a basket and online giving. There's a donate button. And as a reminder, we have this incredible opportunity through next Sunday to match the matching donation of $1,000, so our $2,000 as a community. We'll grow that to a total of $3,000 to continue to build this incredible center that so much sweat equity but also money has gone into. And so we are building this for our community, and we're grateful. I also want to remind you that after service, we have this opportunity to do the fiber art with Bev. And so we can enjoy this setting of intentions that she talked about, this letting go of what no longer serves us, this setting of intentions, and working with color and vibrancy and energy in this sort of physical way. And we do have fellowship. We don't call it that. What do we call it?
Social gathering.
We have a social gathering. Anyway, we can enjoy time with each other, and it will be in here because of people being in the other room, this energy work that's happening. And so there's goodies and coffee and water I want to try with the different citrus fruits in it. And so we have some things. So hang out, get to know people. Grateful that you're all here. Did I miss any announcements? Oh, next Sunday, remember, after service, we have our annual meeting.
Yeah.
I do want to say that.
Yeah.
James.
I wasn't sure, how does this work, the building fund, is that part of the offering here, or is that separate?
It's actually, Ruth?
The envelopes in the pockets in front have a place where you can put on your donation, whether it's for the building fund or if it's an offering. You can put both in the basket, or you can leave some in the basket after service, however you want to do it. But the envelopes, you can actually indicate if it's for offering or building fund.
And so if it's for the building fund, it can go to this matching donation. If it's part of our regular giving and tithe, because we still have to keep the lights on and pay the minister and all the things, like the musicians, then that's just our regular giving. So this is on top of that, and that was a great question. Thank you, Jim.
Yes, thank you.
It's rocket science.
It is kind of rocket science. I know, I had the same question. Okay. Peter.
Yeah.
Oh, prayer after service. Okay, so if anyone would like prayer, you heard some demonstrations today. We are all about living this as a practical teaching. That is why I love this teaching, is because I use it every day, all the time. Just ask my spouse and my family. So we have practitioner Peter here, who is available for prayer after service. And so, Peter, just raise your hand. So go to Peter, tell him you would like prayer. You'll be coming up onto the stage because to have a private session with Peter, if that's, and it'll be, not a full hour practitioner session, but a short prac session here to pray on whatever it is in your life that you want to up level or change. Any of those things. Very powerful. Okay. And now for our abundance affirmation, join with me in saying, in consciousness of abundance, I give freely, knowing that I am freely given too. And now, you're welcome to join us in singing, I am so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
You guys. All right, that was the fiber art. This is, do we have one more of these? Or two?
2 more, and it's next Saturday.
Next Saturday, okay, so next Saturday morning, this has been a monthly class and continues to be for 2 more months. On the first Saturday of each month, the art and science of spiritual mind treatment, which is the affirmative prayer practice. It's a kind of prayer that affirms, that's why we call it affirmative prayer, like an affirmation. And that is with Reverend Sharon and is a popular and excellent class. So show up next Saturday. And you can come on a drop-in, drop-in basis. Okay. We mentioned the annual meeting, so this is a reminder for next Sunday. It's a problem, and it's a time to get to know people, but also to understand what's going on at the center. And I'm sure there's a lot of competition for those board spots, so you need to be here to vote for the people you prefer. And then the Jesse Powers concert on March 7th. Again, Ruth has tickets, and I understand you can email if you're not able to get tickets today, but you want some. So, our grand opening on April 6th with Gary Lynn Floyd, and I believe our One Love Band will also be performing. So that's going to be from noon to 3 right here on April 6th, which I assume is a Sunday as well.
Yes. And invite people from outside the community to come and, there's a school right across the parking lot here, and they came to the front and introduced themselves, and I brought them in, and they were so surprised. They were like, I can't believe this is here. This is wonderful. We gave brochures. So, really, we want people to come, like our guests in our social hall right now, and rent space, help us with our expenses. So, yeah, bring friends, and the music's going to be great. We all love Gary Lynn.
It's true.
So, yeah.
It's true. And so we have an affirmation for you this week, whether you are online or in person. Join me in saying,
I commit to being awake, alive, and aware each moment.
Thank you. And now for our closing song, followed by our community gathering and fiber art.
Okay. We're going to sing this, and then you guys are going to get the hang of it pretty quick. I'm going to invite you to sing it with us. There's a river of love, and it flows right through every word I say, everything I do. Let it flow. I'm ready. There's a river of love, and it flows right through every word I say, everything I do. There's a river of love, and it flows right through every word I say, everything I do.
One power, one presence, one infinite life, and that life is this river of love that flows right through everything we say, everything we do. It is all that we are. And so we go forth today in safety, in awareness, in alertness, and in joy, knowing that we are the love and the life and the authenticity of this life, of this planet, of each and every one. That our energy flows to the good for each and every person we come in contact with, and each and every person we lay our minds on, all of our loved ones. We go forth with joy, and the most amazing things are happening. And this week we take forth that which we have learned today, that which is ours to do, to be, to understand, to show others, whatever that is. This is happening now. I give thanks for answered prayer. I give thanks, for prayer is always answered, and it is done. The law says yes to my word with all the power of the universe.